come on, Fel. I see that wry smile. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
You crazy little taser guy, you. You don't know what you're talking about. You're literally making things up. Now, while I will admit you have a strong possibility for being a fantasy novel writer in the future. If you would let the deputy know, or whoever, 911 or whatever, I'll still be like right around here.
Okay.
Yeah, just let him know what I look like, and I'll be waiting for him. Did you just ask me for ID?
Curious what you're doing. We haven't had people take pictures before on our property like this.
Did I hear you right? Did you ask for ID?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry you feel that. Oh, did you go to the worst apologies school ever academy? That's not how we apologize as adults.
Hey everyone, I am free. It is July 2nd, 2026, and I'm in the city of Mead, here in Spokane County, the Communist Empire, Washington State. Heading on over to the Spokane County Fire District, number 9. I'm going over there to work on a story about multiple issues, but they've got some safety concerns regarding the facility being a admin center and also a training center, as well as they're not being in compliance with the Public Records Act. So we're going to go over here, look into that, see if that's the case. What's that?
Call the sheriff.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Not an intruder. Call the sheriff. Yeah. What you after?
I'll just work it out, Sam. How about you, man?
Okay. Are you working with anybody?
Just myself.
Okay.
What are you guys up to?
Huh?
Working away?
Yeah.
Nice. You guys mechanics here?
Huh?
You guys mechanics here?
Yes, sir.
Nice. That's got to be a pretty sweet job.
Yes, sir.
Nice. All right. If you would let the deputy know, or whoever, 911 or whatever, I'll still be like right around here.
Okay.
Yeah, just let him know what I look like, and I'll be waiting for him. If you could give me a heads up, if they're going to send SWAT and Black Hawk helicopters, just give me a forewarning.
Okay.
I usually like to be right in the middle of an open parking lot when the Black Hawk light comes down on me and all that.
You like all the action.
What's that?
You like the action.
Well, or I'm just being sarcastic, so. Take care, man. What?
That's what you're doing?
Taking pictures and video? That's what one does with cameras.
Yeah. Where are you from? You can get an ID?
Hold on a minute, I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. Did you just ask me for ID?
Curious what you're doing. We haven't had people take pictures before on our property like this.
I mean, the camera's been around a long time. Not one photo? A long time.
We're just curious.
Yeah, just getting photo
we
video.
have people take pictures on our property before like this.
Yeah, just getting.
Out of the ordinary.
Oh, I mean, I could appreciate it might be out of the ordinary. That doesn't necessarily seem like a reasonable statement. You probably don't get 10 photographers out of here every day or every week or whatever. So, yeah, but ID. Did I hear you right? Did you ask for ID?
No.
Oh.
Where are you from? You can get an ID? Where are you from? You can get an ID?
I thought you asked for identification. All right. Good to go?
Sure.
All right. You guys have a good day. Have a good 4th.
Yeah, you safe.
All right. Take care now. By the way, who are you again? Do you know who that is?
Fire chief.
Oh, the fire chief. Now, is that for 92 or the headquarters?
All of Fire District 9.
Oh, he's in charge of everything. He's the most in charge.
Yep.
Gotcha. What's his name?
Chief Vinci.
NC?
Chief Vinci.
Vinci. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So who's the, forget my ignorance of the terminology for fire departments, but is it the battalion chief that would be in charge of 92? Is that the right title?
We have station captains in charge
Station
of stations.
captains. Okay, I see.
Yep.
All right, cool. How you guys doing?
Good. How's your day?
Well, you know, not too shabby. It's actually very pleasant.
It is.
Even though fire level is deathly high.
Yep.
I don't envy you guys this weekend.
That time of the year. No, summer.
Because you're, I don't know, it's kind of weird. You guys seem pretty chill. Your fire chief was like demanding identification. Did he used to be a police officer or something?
I don't think he was ever in law enforcement. He was just concerned for the complex and the people around here.
Yeah, I left my RPG and my roadside bombing equipment, away. So I just came here with normal cameras today. Normal stuff.
Yeah, mask over the face, normal.
Well, I like to think so. I find it, interesting with the state of Washington, where the government with Bobby and his gang of goons were telling us we had to wear certain clothes for 3 years, and all of a sudden you choose to wear certain clothes and now you're a felon. But yeah. Hello. Looking to see if I can look at your procedures manual and your index, please.
Procedures manual for what?
For records. And then I'd like to inspect the index as well.
Okay. So maybe a public records request form, we can start there.
Probably not. I need those before I make the public records request. Yeah. They're just tools to aid a person in making a request.
Okay. I don't know that we have.
Are you the pro?
Well, I don't think we have an index of all of our possible types of records.
Oh, yeah, to be clear, there is no such thing as an index for all records. It's just a pretty narrow cross-section of records. Are you the pro?
I'm sorry?
Are you the pro?
I am part of the retention records.
So you're the public records officer?
One of them, yes.
Well, who's the public records officer? State law says there's only one per agency.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
So you are?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, I'd just like to inspect the index. And then where are you displayed as the records officer? Because I looked and I couldn't find the records officer listed online.
Yeah, it might be on the website.
I looked there, yeah, I couldn't find it.
Yeah, this is awkward, but let's point out the obvious here. A, she just said she's the public records officer, yet seemed to not understand exactly what that was a moment ago. B, the public records officer listing is nowhere, and I do mean nowhere, on the site as evidenced by my perusal of the website as seen here. And C, the difference from even earlier versions of the site to the most current one right now is actually a downgrade on transparency. The fire chief of this large fire district has a duty to ensure the district complies with state law regarding the Records Act, and he is not doing that. I figured I'd let all of you Spokane Fire District number 9 and Spokane area folk know that apparently transparency isn't very high up on the ladder for this fire chief.
Under where you would look for like our pictures.
Yeah, I didn't see any listing of the records officer. Like I saw people listed as like the fire chief or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Anyway, let's get to what you're really looking for.
The index and the procedures manual.
Okay. That'll take just a moment.
Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah. You can have a seat or hang out wherever
Sure.
you're
Yeah, no problem. Sounds good.
If you'd like to make a public records request, our public records request forms on our website. We'd be happy to comply with that.
I'm looking to see your procedures manual and your index.
You can make a public records request via our form online, and we'll be happy to comply with that through the public.
Assistant Chief Jeffries, who is the public records officer for Fire District 9?
The fire chief is.
Well, who's the public records officer? State law says there's only one per agency.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
So you are?
Sure.
Okay. So you are?
Sure.
Okay. So you are?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Then I need to speak to the pro.
Okay. He's unavailable right now, but you're welcome to request our standard operating procedures through our public request.
Do you have?
Could you go redirect the people coming in the front door, please?
Do you have an index and a procedures manual?
Yes, we do.
Okay, then I'm
Happy to
gonna.
provide provide you a copy of it. You can do a public records request through our website.
I'm going to politely make a strong suggestion then, Assistant Fire Chief Jeffries. You just admitted you have it. And state statute says you don't make a records request for those two specific things. You come in and you demand to inspect them during open hours, and they have to be provided. You don't make
request through a public records.
You don't do that.
Form on our website.
If you conceal it, Assistant Chief, that's a Class C felony if you look in RCW 40.16.010. You just said you have one of each.
Make a request for public
You don't request it.
Website.
Sir, with all due respect, you're not the public records officer, and I think that's very clear right now because you don't know what you're talking about. You're literally making things up. Now, while I will admit you have a strong possibility for being a fantasy novel writer in the future because you're making one up on the fly right now, and it's not a bad first attempt, but you're literally breaking the law right now. It's really clear. If you go read the statute in Section 70 and Section 40 of the Public Records Act, the procedures manual has to be published so that if somebody comes in and requests it, they know what the procedure is. That way you can't discriminate against people. So if you get someone that comes in that you don't like, and we don't know what the procedure is, you could treat that person differently than someone you do like. And since there would be no published procedures manual, there would be no way to hold anyone to account, which is why Section 40 of the Records Act says you must publish it. In fact, it says duty to publish procedures. You haven't published them anywhere. You are correct that you do have a public records request form on the website. I did see that. But there's no procedures anywhere at all. And the index is actually just a very narrow identification of records, a very specific set of records. It's not all of your records. It's like basic governance documents, like final opinions, adjudicated opinions, administrative staff manuals. And then if like you have a specific staff manual called 123 ABC, it just listed that, so I know now what to call it specifically by name. So when I do submit a public records request to District 9, you guys know, oh, he's requesting exactly this document. It actually closes the distance and makes more sense out of things. So that's why the state has ordered you to comply. So that's why I want to talk to the public records officer, because what I'm seeing now is that the published procedure manual has to be at your central office, prominently displayed.
Nope. I appreciate the legal advice.
It's not legal advice. I'm telling you what the law says, and you're violating my rights right now as a citizen of Washington State by not complying with state law, and you're refusing to provide me with what you're mandated by law to do. So since you're not in the chain of command for public records, I'd like you to get the records officer, please.
Well, he's not available.
Okay, well then you guys need to fix the problem. I'm not going to come to District 9 and be bullied around by an assistant fire chief or fire chief who wants to be incalcitrant and refuse to provide records. So I'm politely asking you to comply and do what you're required as a servant to do.
You can make a public records request. We'll be happy to.
I'm not providing cover for you, Assistant Chief Jeffries. I'm not going to make a records request for something you don't have. I think you lied to me a moment ago when you said you have a procedures manual and a records index. I don't think you have those. I think you've probably got one of those C- or D+ municipal law attorneys who's given you some pretty, Goonies adventure-like legal advice and has misled this fire district, because if you had it prominently displayed, where would I see it? Well, what does the word prominently mean? Immediately inspectable. It's available to your view right there when you see it. When you come in, there's nothing here.
Okay.
So go get it, please.
Nope.
So you're going to refuse me the ability to inspect something that state law says you must.
You're welcome to make a public records request.
What makes you think that I have to make a public records request for it?
I've provided you an answer. You don't like the answer.
Are you guys literally trying to compete with who can be the biggest villain today? Is that literally what you're doing?
No.
Well, I mean, you're working hard for it. I mean, you're literally working hard to be a Marvel villain at this point. Instead of actively being incalcitrant and abusive, could you please do your job?
I'm sorry you feel that.
Oh, did you go to the worst apologies school ever academy? That's not how we apologize as adults. We don't apologize for other people's feelings. You're supposed to take accountability and responsibility for your failings, and you're not doing it. So let me see the published procedures manual, please. That's all I'm asking for, okay? That's all I'm looking for. and the index. Now, if you have an exemption for the index, you may, it's possible, that also has to be published. But as I was telling the nice lady back there a moment ago, there is no published exemption order. There is no anything.
I appreciate your information.
Okay. I will try to provide assistance then. Let me explain to you. Okay. So, Assistant Chief, if you look at this, well, give me a minute. That's the section I'm talking about, Section 40. It says duty to publish procedures. You just don't want to look to, you don't want to assist. Are you really that upset about this?
No, I'm not upset at all.
Okay, you've refused. I'm going to wait 5 business days in accordance with 520, even though I want to be clear, I'm not making a public records request for the procedures manual of the index. I'm trying to inspect them on site. You're refusing to do that. I'll have to do a de novo filing to Spokane County Superior Court. You're going to get named. I don't know why this is the mountain that you feel you want to fight on. It just makes no sense that you would do this. Apparently, it's the day of hubris, so, it is what it is. But I'd like it if you would just comply. Okay, so I will come back in a week and a half, and we can go from there. Hopefully the pro's there. Also, the pro's not listed on the website, which has to be listed according to Section 580. So please fix this stuff, okay? Spokane County Sheriff's Department, what are you guys doing?
How are you? We're told there was a guy in a tech vest walking around the fire station.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I just Halo jumped in from North Korea. So this tends to keep you warm up at 40. So I was like, I'll just wear the tactical fisherman's vest today.
That's what it looks like.
Now, what I usually get when I get out on the water with my fisherman's vest, the dang Coast Guard shows up and, cannons and rocket launchers, all the bad stuff. So are you guys here to do the felony takedown? Did you want to give me a head start to run for tasings or beatings or anything? Or
not sure what you're talking about.
Come on, Fel. I see that wry smile. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
You crazy little taser guy, you. All right, so what are you guys here for?
We're here for a suspicious person.
A suspicious person? Hold on a minute.
We don't just show up like this for no reason.
Dang it. I know what happened. The last legislative session, they made public records requests, and wearing a gaiter a felony, didn't they? Gosh dang it. Those wacky legislators over there. Actually, if you actually truly want to see a crime on camera, his assistant fire chief and him, well, actually, I can't say him, but his assistant fire chief just committed a gross misdemeanor if you want to see the evidence on camera. In fact, if you want to see it in progress, I could go back in there and you can see it actually happening. You can look right at 401610 if you'd like. You guys have one of these?
What does that have to do with anything?
They just committed a crime.
Okay, how so?
They violated my rights as a citizen of Washington State by refusing to provide to me what they're mandated to provide in state statute. They have to either have an index of records available for inspection during open hours, or they have to have an exemption for it. They are allowed to exempt themselves, but then they have to publish and issue the order exempting themselves from it. But the assistant fire chief, Jeffries, admitted they have the public records manual and the index.
Do you have an index and a procedures manual?
Yes, we do.
And he's concealing it from me. So if you look at the statute for that, that's a Class C felony. That's criminal. It's not civil. You don't go to court to fix that. Well, you don't go to civil court to fix that. You go to the hotel downtown that has like the beds that nobody wants to sleep on and the really great food that you guys provide to people when they go hang out. That's the one. So I'd really like you guys to just maybe give them some quick advice, like maybe you should stop committing felonies and gross misdemeanors.
So you're just wanting public records?
I'm looking to inspect the 2 tools that assist me in making a public records request so that I can make a public records request. That's all I'm trying to do.
What are the 2 tools you need?
So one of them is a public records index. So if you go to Section 70 of the Records Act, it's basically just a narrow cross-section of records that they identify by actual name. Like, fire policy 123 ABC, whatever, right? They just tell you what the exact name of it is, so that when you request the record, it's not unclear. Like if I said, I'm looking for your fire policy manual, right? That might be vague. But if you say I'm looking for ABC 123, it's really obvious what you're looking for. The second thing I'm looking for is their published procedures manual, which in Section 40 says, it shall be prominently displayed at their central office. That's their central office. I know you'll be shocked. This is my shocked face. They don't have a prominently displayed procedures manual. He just admitted they have one, though.
Do you have an index and a procedures manual?
Yes, we do.
He's concealing it from me, which is another felony. I'm just asking you guys maybe to just have a little friendly talk with him and be like, maybe stop breaking the law, stop being criminals, comply. It's not a special pass. Unless you guys are just gonna... Okay. Do you guys only enforce like violent crimes? Is that all you do? Do you guys do white collar crimes at all?
Except for 607.
Or do you only enforce like murders, kidnappings, assaults?
Okay, so you want us to have a conversation with them?
Yeah, I'd like you to tell them to stop violating the law. I'm not saying I think you should arrest them on this. Just tell them to stop doing it and comply. I could show you the statute if you want. I mean, it's really straightforward. They have to publish the procedures so we know what they are, so that I don't get a different set of policies and processes if they don't like me, which they probably don't right now, because I've caught them doing the bad thing. And then for somebody that they do like, they of course then go, oh, well, we'll get you your records really quick. So yeah, that's all I'm looking to do.
Okay.
You want to go in and team up? No teaming up.
They were talking with one of them inside, so we'll see what they have to say. I don't know. Well, I'm just talking with you, so I don't know what happened in there.
Fair enough.
So what's your plan now? Once we go inside and talk with them, are you leaving?
Well, no, I still need to make the public records request. Okay. What I don't want to do...
I know when we showed up, they said they're happy to give you any public records requests.
Cool.
Once you fill out the paperwork.
Yeah, the assistant fire chief... Well, see, and this is the other thing he just lied to me about, which that isn't a crime, and he can lie all he wants, but the assistant fire chief said the public records officer is the chief. So he is the actual records officer. He said that... The assistant fire chief said the public records officer is unavailable. He's in meetings for the rest of the day. As soon as you guys showed up with the pew-pews, all of a sudden the fire chief isn't in meetings for the rest of the day. So what he's doing as a records officer is he is helping obfuscate and conceal records unlawfully allowed to inspect. You don't have to make a records request for the index or the procedures manual. Now, other records you do. That's normal. So I'm just asking if you guys can maybe have a talk with them. I don't want you to go in uninformed. I'm happy to show you the statute from the Records Act. It's really obvious. It says, shall be prominently displayed in the main office for the district office, city hall, whatever. And then the index has to be there too. That's it. But what do you guys think? You want to team up? Have a transparency moment?
So, it sounds like they've explained to you kind of what they've asked you to do already to get the records you're looking for, to get whatever information you were looking for. They've presented that to you. You're not wanting to take that option. So what exactly is it that you want to be done today?
Why is it your belief that their sole consideration, their sole viewpoint is correct, and why are you of the mind that a crime has not actually occurred? Now, I know for misdemeanors, if I remember correctly, you guys actually have to witness that. But a felony, if I can show you on video, you'd have to go in and do the whole magic bracelet thing, and we're going to feed you for a certain period of time, action, fun time thing.
Okay. Again, what is it that you're looking for?
I'm looking to get the index and the
And
procedure.
they've explained to you already how to go about it.
You don't do that. That's not actually how it works.
Okay. Well, if you don't like that answer, I can't speak for them, but you're welcome to contact an attorney and figure out what other options you have.
Going back to my earlier question, do you guys only arrest people for violent crimes? Is that all you do?
No.
Okay, so if you saw someone committing forgery, would you arrest them for forgery? Not saying they did forgery.
I'm not going to play this game with you.
Well, it's not a game, sir.
It is.
You're not participating in actually providing assistance. What you're doing is you're conspiring with them to avoid me getting access to something I'm supposed to do right now.
We listened to what you had to say. We listened to what they had to say. They've given you
and so they're automatically right.
We're giving you an option.
You haven't investigated, though. You've done no investigation.
Just talk to them.
You have a presupposition that they're correct.
I don't work for the fire department. Okay?
Well, then you guys are dismissed. Go.
Like the way that they're going.
Leave.
Nope.
There's nothing for you guys to do here then. If you're not going to get involved in trying to solve the problem, go catch bad guys doing bad things.
Mr. McDonald, they already told you, it sounds like, how to get the information you're looking for.
Why?
Are you just not
I don't understand why this is so hard to figure out. You're making you're taking a position rather that they're correct. On certain things, they could be incorrect, and there would be no problem with that. They wouldn't be committing a crime, for example. But when you conceal records, that is a crime. It's a felony. And when you choose not to comply with the state law and violate a citizen's rights, that's a gross misdemeanor. It's official misconduct. It's right there in the RCWs. That's why I'm saying you can look it up if you want in the little green handbook that we all walk around with, right? So that we know what's going on and what's not going on. So if you guys aren't going to actually try to assist, I don't need assistance here. I'm going to continue to try to get the index and the procedures manual. I'm not going to do a public records request for something, for a tool that's meant to aid me.
We're here for you. We're here because they called us here. Okay?
Was there a crime afoot?
It sounds like they're trying to go in there and do their job, and you're in there asking them for things that they've already given you an answer to.
That doesn't...
They've given you a process.
I can stay in there for the rest of the open hours for the day if I want and continue to ask them that. That's not criminal. It's not even a problem. So if I have to do that to demonstrate to citizens of this area that Fire District 9 is just violating the Public Records Act, then that's what's going to happen.
I think it's locked. It's locked. They gave him whatever he wanted. Nobody knows what you are capable of, why you're here, so until we know why they gave you an answer and you're refusing to leave, they consider you... Topman.
Mm-hmm. I have to admit, Topman, I'm a bit confused. What is...
If you were walking around the public safety building and you wanted to walk into the sheriff's office, would you think that wouldn't be concerning for people?
I just did last week.
Okay.
And guess what?
Walk right through all the points of entry and just walk in the front door?
Yeah. Went right through the screening, did all that.
Oh, so you followed the process to get back to the sheriff.
Lawful
You didn't
process.
just walk in there to talk to the chief.
The lawful process. Mm-hmm. So, okay, since this is apparently the hill you want to die on, Topman, let me explain it to you like this. Mm-hmm. If I went into the screening process, right, and then the screeners that work at the public safety building said, oh, hey, so what do you got business here? Yeah, I do. And then they just pull out sticks and start beating me. Would that be a lawful process? No, it would be illegal. It'd be assault, right? I'm trying to go through a lawful process. What they're doing is unlawful, and it's not just a civil issue. It's also criminal.
Well, I'm actually curious. I've never seen this law. So what are you talking about?
I appreciate at least having.
Okay, I will have the conversation. So, but I can't do it if I don't.
If you go to RCW 40.16.010.
16010.
40.16.010. It'll say injury to a public record. That's the title of it. And the verb to focus on is conceal.
Conceal from who?
The public. It's the Public Records Act. The obvious foundation of that is the public comes in.
Alter, mutilate, destroy, conceal, or obliterate a record, map, book, paper, document, or other thing filed and deposited in the public office or with any public officer by the authority of law is guilty of a Class C felony.
Now, guess who the officer is? The fire chief. He is the public records officer.
Assistant Chief Jeffries, who is the public records officer for Fire District 9?
The fire chief is.
If you go to 4256.580, that section says they have to identify who the public records officer is. They admitted that he's the public records officer. So, what this is now is if you go to 4256.40 and 70, it says here's the duty to publish procedures. That's the big one right here to prove that the record's being concealed.
Okay.
Because the assistant fire chief admitted on camera that they have it.
Do you have an index and a procedures manual?
Yes, we do.
They're concealing it because he admitted that you have it. And if you go to Section 40 of the Records Act, it says it must be prominently displayed. So it's not prominently displayed. So they're concealing it. Because he admitted they have it, but they're not providing it, even though it's required to be published and provided.
So what was their answer? They told you how to go about getting that. What was their answer?
They said you can make a public records request for it.
Right.
Section 40. Look, I appreciate you guys don't deal with this stuff. Look, I'm not even being...
That's not a law I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm also curious how we're getting around the officer discretion thing, where if I don't believe we have PC, which I don't, why is that we have to arrest now? It's not a...
Well, no, absolutely. Look, absolutely. It's just like your criminal game...
So if he's saying we don't have PC, we don't have PC.
Oh, no, I guarantee you have PC if you let me read 40 here really quick for you. So, in fact, I'll just show you right here. Duty to publish procedures, right there, section 40, okay? So it says... Each local agency shall prominently display and make available for inspection and copying at the central office of such local agency for guidance to the public the following things.
And inspection by who?
The public. It's the Public Records Act.
Does it say inspection by the public? Anybody who walks in can look at it whenever?
For guidance of the public.
I heard for guidance of the public. They have
it's the Public Records Act, the foundation of...
I think that might be incorrect.
Spokane County, this is one of your sheriff's deputies working overtime, not to investigate an alleged crime, but to explain it away. Ask yourself, would you receive the same treatment if you were accused of concealing a public record? The assistant fire chief admitted on camera that the records existed and that he had them.
Do you have an index and a procedures manual?
Yes, we do.
He then refused to make them available for inspection.
I'm looking to see your procedures manual and your index.
You can make a public records request.
When I offered that evidence to the deputy refused to even watch it and then relied upon his own, quote, lack of probable cause, end quote, as justification for doing nothing. He appeared so determined to reject the possibility that government officials could be breaking the law and so unwilling to confront evidence that might authorize the arrest of an assistant fire chief that he dismissed the entire matter under the banner of, quote, officer discretion. So what does officer discretion actually mean here? In this instance, officer discretion looks remarkably like a separate standard for government employees. Credible evidence is disregarded, the alleged offense is minimized, and the accused official is protected from the scrutiny that an ordinary citizen would likely face. And this problem does not end with the sheriff's office. Charging decisions ultimately belong to the Spokane County Prosecutor's Office, currently led by Prosecutor Preston McCollum. Yet McCollum's office committed the same crimes on video and audio, and I know you'll be shocked to hear this, but also refused to charge themselves in that concealment of public records, even though I documented it with video and audio recording in the following clip from one of my other news stories.
Okay. So
This is an elected office, right?
yes.
Yeah. So since this is an executive branch government office separate from all other executive branch government offices, the Public Records Act mandates that this office create, maintain, and make available for inspection during open hours the Public Records Index.
Okay.
If you look in RCW 42.56.070 subsection 3, it lists all of the different things that you're supposed to have. Are you the prosecutor?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, if you're the elected prosecutor, then I need to see your index.
Okay. I appreciate your time. I'm waiting for a jury.
So you just watched that. Not a clerk, not a receptionist, not a deputy prosecutor, the actual prosecuting attorney for Spokane County. As you watched me as a journalist attempt to submit a public records request and requested the office's public records index, there was no effort to facilitate the request, no apparent referral to a public records officer, no attempt to provide the public records index. Every day, his office expects citizens to know the law, follow the law, and accept responsibility when they don't. Yet here he is committing crimes. So let me ask the citizens of Spokane County this. If the sheriff's office will not examine recorded evidence against government officials for a felony, and the prosecutor's office will not pursue these allegations even after the conduct is captured on video and released for the public and the world to see, what happens when no camera is present? For some insight, let us revisit the case of Brian Snow. Several months ago, Snow was arrested for the heinous crime of attempting to make a public records request at a Spokane County Sheriff's Office facility, and then falsely charged with trespassing. I know we're all shocked to hear this, and that was later dismissed. Mr. Snow contacted me, and I covered what happened. Watch this clip as 7 armed Spokane County deputies escalate a public records request into a trespassing arrest.
Hi. Can I do a public records request?
Yes. What kind of question?
I just had a public records request I wanted to submit.
Oh, no. We don't do that. You have to go to the main office at 12710 East Sprague.
Are you sure about that?
Yes,
I think that I can.
You're not allowed to do that.
That's for the Valley Police Department for 1100 West Malin, downtown.
Oh.
I can submit them any public office.
Sorry, we can't help you for that.
Yeah, actually you have to.
What's your name, sir?
What's your name?
Deputy Pendel. What's your name, sir?
I don't have to give you my name. Have I committed a crime?
There's nothing we can do for you.
Yeah, actually, no, you can't ask me to leave. This is a public building. Isn't this a public office?
Why don't you show me code 5? Show me code 5.
Get the fuck over! God! since demanding a public records request at the Millwood scope.
Do you know about the Public Records Act? Maybe
There's
not.
nothing we can do for you. You're scaring me a little bit with your inability to reason here. I've got volunteers here, so why don't we go outside and we can have this conversation.
This is a public lobby, right?
Why do you come over here?
I'm not going to hurt anybody. I don't. I'm not. I mean, I don't have any weapons or anything. I'm just trying to document doing a public records request.
You gals want to step outside?
Yes. I'm gonna go leave it.
All right.
Is this not a? Am I not in a public office?
You've asked for a public records request. I've told you where you can go to get those, and we haven't achieved communication. You're arguing with me about whether you can get them here. So
Have you read the Public Records Act?
At this point, sir, you're going to have to leave if we can't.
No, it's the law. Do you not uphold the law? I'm just curious. Do you uphold the law or not? Aren't you a law enforcement officer? Wow, you really called other people here because of me?
You came in our back door. You demanded a records request, and I don't know who you are
right by
or
here
what you
and
need.
eyeball us with your camera.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you doing?
This guy's in his right mind.
What's your? I'm in my right mind. What's your name and badge number?
Where he can get the services he's asking for.
What's your?
Trespassing right now.
No, hold on a second. Wait, I need you to. Can you please identify yourself?
Leave or you're under arrest.
Will you please identify yourself?
Conversations being recorded on our end.
Okay, that's fine. I'm recording it too. Will you please identify yourselves? I will leave under threat of arrest. I will leave.
You need to leave.
You're trespassing.
How am I trespassing?
You need to leave now.
This is a public lobby.
This is not a public lobby.
Okay, listen. For what?
Yikes. Yeah. Surely after treating a man requesting public records like a criminal, the government successfully prosecuted its case against him. I mean, that's obvious, right? I mean, that's what would happen. Yeah, no, actually, the case was dismissed. I wonder how that civil suit's going to turn out for Spokane County in the end. That is awkward. Spokane County appears willing to arrest a citizen who seeks public records, yet unwilling even to examine evidence that proves public officials committed criminal concealment of them. One standard for the public, another for those receiving a government paycheck. And that isn't equal justice under the law. It's institutional protection.
That's your interpretation. I'm hearing they have to have it when it's being inspected. But I don't know if any citizen walking in is being considered an inspection.
I'm not shocked at this. The fact that Preston, he himself committed a felony the other day. I mean,
who's Preston?
The prosecutor, the county prosecutor, McCollum.
Oh yeah, McCollum. Yeah, I only know.
So the fact that his entire office is committing misdemeanors and felonies and is behaving like a bunch of children. I mean, look, I get it. Government attorneys are C- D+ grad students. I get it. They're not the smart ones. That's why they work for the government. But it doesn't mean he can't read, right? And what I'm seeing here is public servants not caring about transparency. Now, look, I get it. You're law enforcement officers. That's not your lane. You know, your lane is to focus on crimes. It's laughable, though, that you three would argue that there is no PC for that when you read Section 40 for the duty to publish procedures. And you, not as a lawyer, you're going to try to argue like you know some special things about...
I know. I'm reading the law in plain language. And it says when it's wanting to be inspected or whatever language you had... It
has to make it available for inspection and copying at the central office.
Inspection by who? It doesn't say the public.
It's not the Private Records Act.
No,
that's the Public Records Act. The public goes in to inspect it. Jeez.
So how come you don't file a lawsuit?
That actually is a legitimately good question.
They gave you a process.
The issue with these particular issues, like the procedures manual and the index, there is not punitive assignment of damages specifically for those two things. Now, if I went to the sheriff and said, hey, I want Topman's records for the last 5 years, whatever they are, right? Just the thing. And he refuses. He's like, no, I'm not giving you any records, die in a fire, whatever, right? There's an assignable fine to that in Section 550 of
because you made a request.
Because I made a request and they've refused records. But procedures manual and the index are not treated as records like a request, which is why you don't request them. And that's also why they don't assign any fines to it. So what you could do is you could go to court, to Superior Court, and get a writ of mandamus and have the judge say, no, you will do this right now. But lawyers don't like to take those cases because we know what lawyers like to do. Lawyers want the bodily injury cases or the, somebody got shot or ran over or whatever, and I'm going to sue them for $14 million. They want those because they make a heck of a lot more money, right? Even if on attorney's fees, if they get 15 grand, like the fire district's attorney is going to fight this and spend them out of the value of their time to do this. And this is why we have such significant transparency issues with the Records Act in Washington State. The attorneys for the government have figured it out that the things that you cannot get punitive damages on, you can basically say, we'll see if they'll roll the dice on this. That's why I'm sure Preston, I don't know, actually I don't even think he's smart enough to figure it out, to be honest, but regardless, there are others out there that can. And I think they're looking at it saying, we'll just roll the dice and see if you can find an attorney. It's very hard to find attorneys for those. Now, Preston just actually refused my public records request. I don't know if you saw my story that went out earlier this week, but I went there to file a complaint on some officers that did some bad things in SPD. And while I was there, I was working on a Public Records Act story about Preston's office. And shocking, it turned out to be true. This is my shocked face. So he refused the public records request. We're on day 8, so now it could be up to $100 per page per day, which, Preston, if you're watching this, you're going to get taken to court on this. You can get an attorney for that, because you can get all sorts of fines and penalties for that. Attorneys love that. So yeah, I can find an attorney for suing Preston, but for this, you got to find an attorney that actually is like, well, this, the issue matters itself, and I'm willing to represent you on the issue because you can't let it happen. So I don't agree with your guys' PC stuff, but I can appreciate that's a legitimately good question. I mean, you guys as citizens, I'm just telling you, even though you're law enforcement, you guys should be worried about this stuff, because what happens is they do bad stuff. Everybody in government, not all government, there are bad actors in government. We know this happens. And this is one of the ways that they make it difficult to get to the records that you seek. You guys take care. Have a good 4th.
You as well.
All right, so Fire District 9 just locked. Actually, I'm going to confirm that they locked the door. So this is during open business hours. They have to be open for 30 hours a week minimum. That is, locked. I'd like to make a public records request. Okay, so there's 3 sheriff's deputies, 1, 2, 3 leaving. This is the frustrating part, is like, I honestly believe what Topman was doing was intentionally misinterpreting that. Yeah, they're not even going to accept the public records request. I'd like to make a public records request, please. Okay, so now they're failing to accept the public records request.